Here's a shocker. Owning a car costs the average American over $10,000 a year. That's more than many people spend on housing or food, and it's not just about gas or car payments. There are hidden costs that can silently drain your wallet over time. Stick around because we're exposing the true costs of car ownership, and the biggest expense might surprise you. We all know cars are expensive, but how often do we think about what we're really paying for? For most of us, it's about the sticker price, insurance, and the occasional repair. But here's the truth. Those are just the tip of the iceberg. From depreciation to hidden fees, owning a car is one of the most underestimated financial commitments we make. Today, I'll break down the real costs of car ownership, so you can understand where your money is going and how to keep more of it. Most people believe car ownership is straightforward. You buy a car, fill it with gas, change the oil and filters, and maybe replace a part here or there. But here's the reality. The total cost of ownership goes far beyond what you see in your monthly budget. Take depreciation, for example. It's often the single biggest expense, yet almost nobody talks about it. Your car is losing value every day, even if it's parked in your driveway. And what about the added expenses of taxes, registration, and financing? Many of these costs are hidden, so you might not even realize how much you're spending. Here's another example. Let's say you bought a new car for $35,000. After 5 years, the car is worth just $15,000. That's $20,000 you've effectively spent on a car that you no longer have. And we haven't even factored in fuel, maintenance, or insurance yet. Most people think they're just paying for convenience and freedom, but is that really the case? Let's break it all down. Depreciation is the silent killer and the single largest expense in car ownership, yet it's often ignored because it's not an out-of-pocket cost. Think of it like this. As soon as you drive a new car off the dealership lot, its value begins to plummet. On average, a car loses about 20% of its value in the first year alone. Over the next 2 to 3 years, that number balloons between 40 and 50% of the original value. For example, if you purchase a new car for $40,000, you can expect it to be worth only about $32,000 after the first year. By the end of 5 years, it might be worth less than $20,000. This means you've effectively lost tens of thousands of dollars without even realizing it. Luxury cars suffer even worse depreciation. High-end brands like BMW, Mercedes, and Audi lose value faster than economy vehicles because their maintenance costs are higher, and their target market typically prefers newer models. Depreciation is essentially money vanishing into thin air, money you will never recover. Insurance is a recurring expense that adds up significantly over time. In the US, the average annual car insurance premium is over $1,500. But this is just the starting point. Factors such as your age, location, vehicle type, and driving history heavily influence your rate. A clean driving record might help, but other external factors are entirely out of your control. For example, if accident rates rise in your area or repair costs increase, your premium could jump, even if you've never had an accident. Over 10 years, insurance costs can easily total $15,000 to $20,000 for an average driver. For younger drivers or those with luxury or sports cars, the costs can skyrocket. For instance, insuring a high-performance vehicle like a sports car might cost 3 to 4 times as much as insuring an economy sedan. And if you're financing your car, your lender will likely require comprehensive coverage, further increasing your insurance costs. Most people don't buy cars outright with cash, they finance them. While this makes cars more accessible, it also means you end up paying much more than the car's sticker price. So let's break it down. A typical car loan might have an interest rate between 4 and 6%. For a $30,000 car loan over 5 years, this could mean paying an additional $3,000 or even $5,000 in interest. If you opt for a longer loan term, say 6 or 7 years, the interest adds up even more. And you risk being upside down on your loan, where you owe more on the car than it's worth due to depreciation. Many buyers are lured into low monthly payments, but these often come with longer loan terms and higher interest costs. Over time, you could be paying tens of thousands of dollars extra, especially if you refinance or roll negative equity into your next car purchase. Car ownership also involves significant taxes and fees that continue long after the initial purchase. When you buy a new car, state sales taxes can add thousands to your upfront costs. For example, a 6% sales tax on a $40,000 car means an additional $2,400 right off the bat. Then there are annual registration fees, which vary widely by state. Newer and more expensive vehicles often have higher registration fees. In states like California, registration for a new car can range from $400 to $700 annually, depending on the car's value and weight. Over a decade, this adds up to several $1,000s. Additionally, some states charge personal property taxes on vehicles, further increasing the cost of ownership. These costs are unavoidable and can strain your budget if you don't account for them. Every car requires maintenance, but the type of car you drive significantly affects how much you'll spend. Routine maintenance like oil changes, tire rotations, and brake replacements can add up to $500 or $1,000 annually. However, unexpected repairs are where costs can spiral out of control. Major repairs, such as replacing a transmission or engine, can cost anywhere from $3,000 to $7,000 or more. Luxury cars come with even higher repair bills due to specialized parts and labor. For example, replacing a simple part like a brake rotor on a luxury car might cost 2 to 3 times as much as on an economy car. Ignoring regular maintenance to save money can backfire, leading to costly breakdowns later on.
I declare bankruptcy!
Over 10 years, maintenance and repair costs can easily exceed $10,000 or even $20,000, depending on your car's make and model. Fuel is one of the most obvious car-related costs, but its impact varies depending on your vehicle and driving habits. The average American spends over $2,000 annually on fuel, but this number can double for less fuel-efficient vehicles or long commutes. Gas prices are volatile, meaning your monthly fuel budget could swing wildly depending on market conditions. For electric vehicles, while you save on fuel, you'll face higher upfront costs and potentially expensive battery replacements after several years. Over the life of your car, you could easily spend between $20,000 and $30,000 on fuel alone, making it one of the largest ongoing expenses of car ownership. One of the most overlooked costs of car ownership is opportunity cost, the financial growth you miss out on by tying up money in a depreciating asset. If you're spending $10,000 a year on car-related expenses, that's money you could have invested elsewhere. For instance, if you invested just half of that amount in the first year, and you add $2,000 annual additional contribution into an index fund earning a 7% annual return, you'd have around $38,000 in 10 years. Over 20 years, that figure grows above $100,000. By spending on cars instead of investments, you're not just losing money, you're losing the potential to grow your wealth. This is a hidden cost that most people never consider, but can significantly impact long-term financial stability. So what's the most surprising hidden cost? For many, it's depreciation. Think about it. You're losing thousands every year on something that's guaranteed to drop in value. It's like throwing money out the window every time you drive off the lot. And when you combine that with financing, insurance, and other expenses, the real cost of car ownership can be shocking. Here's a quick example. A $30,000 car might cost you over $60,000 over 5 years when you add up all the hidden expenses. And that doesn't even include opportunity costs. Car ownership isn't just about the monthly payments or gas. It's a web of expenses that add up in ways most people don't realize. Depreciation, insurance, financing, maintenance, taxes, and even lost investment opportunities all play a role in making car ownership one of the most expensive decisions you'll make. The good news, knowing where your money is going can help you make smarter choices, like opting for a more affordable car, shopping around for better insurance rates, or even driving less to save on fuel and maintenance.